Good stuff. We're having a great time. Glad you guys are sticking around and supporting live comedy. Help me welcome to the stage your next comedian of the night, Lynn Ruth Miller. Let her hear it. Come on.
Let's hear it for all the comedians you've heard so far. Let me look at all of you. Yeah, young audience. Yeah, really young. Yeah, but I'm not. I'm 75 years old. Right, yes I am. I'll take off my clothes and I'll prove it to you. There are a lot of joys to aging. There really are. You have something to look forward to. For example, I get up in the morning. That's one. Yeah, and you know, when you're my age, you have lapses. You know, you sort of end up somewhere. You can't figure out how you got there. I mean, there I was in my fuzzy bunny slippers and my chin strap, and this guy in an orange shirt came up to me and he said, "Welcome to Home Depot." And I said, "Oh my God, I thought I was in the bathroom." But you get a lot of body changes too. I mean, for example, I'm pretty wrinkled. I took my bulldog to the vet, and he gave me the shot. Yeah, and I've got to admit it, my cleavage is so crosshatched you could play tic-tac-toe on it if I could find the pencil. You know, and putting on a bra these days reminds me of a Kenny Rogers song. You know, you have to know how to hold them, you have to know how to fold them. But I just roll mine up and use a clamp. Yeah, actually, I got a Victoria's Secret catalog today. I want to meet Victoria. I want to see what else she doesn't keep secret. I'm looking through the pages and I thought to myself, my God, oh, this underwear was meant to be seen. It wasn't that way when I was a kid. When I was a kid, my mother made me wear 6 layers of clothes under my clothes before I was allowed to go out on dates. She thought that would protect me from beer, pretzels, and testosterone. It didn't. When I was young, I was so hot that when my dates came to pick me up, they didn't ring the doorbell. It did. That's a memory. In any case, yeah, we used to go out to drive-in theaters. Do you remember drive-in theaters? Yeah, that was where if you were lucky, you didn't have to watch the movie. Yeah, no, it was dark in those back seats. It was. You lost everything. Your keys, your wallet, your principals. Hey, you see this hump? You see that? Yeah. You think that's osteoporosis. That's not how I got that hump. I got that hump in the back seat of a Cadillac convertible while watching Gone with the Wind. When Clark Gable said, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," I got humped. And that too is a memory. Well, you know, there's been a lot of changes in the world since I was young. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the credit crunch. Everybody is so worried about the credit crunch. You don't have to worry. I mean, I've been through that, and it's nothing. I remember the Depression. I actually remember the Dust Bowl. But enough about my sex life. I'm going to tell you how to cope. That too is not a memory. That's a reality. I'm going to tell you how to cope. What you do when you don't have a lot of money is you substitute, isn't that? You know, you want something, you get something that's not quite as good, but it'll do, you know, sort of. And for example, I love chocolate. You like chocolate? Yeah. You like chocolate? Oh, I love chocolate. So when I'm in the mood for a hot fudge sundae, I go out with a black man. And if we want Neapolitan, we go to a casino and hug the dealer. That's what we do. And I love cheese. You like cheese? Yes. God, I love cheese. So when I'm in the mood for something smelly and expensive, I hire a homeless gigolo. But as I said, things are different now that I brought you up to date. Things are different, and one of the things that's different is bathrooms. You know, bathrooms when I was young, they weren't like they are today. We didn't have all that stuff in the body shop. We had only one bar of soap to clean your body, wash your hair, and clean up your language. And we didn't plug in anything either. No, we didn't plug. We used a towel to dry your hair. You know, we used a regular toothbrush. And if you wanted excitement, you had to read a Playboy. That's all we had, yeah. And when I was a kid, the back door was in the kitchen. My mother was in there. My mother was in there so much that the first time I saw her without an apron, I didn't recognize her. Yeah, I thought she made babies in there. And I asked her for the recipe, and she said, your husband will know it, but ignore him. That is a Jewish remark. I said, no, when you get married, you get a baby. She said, no, you get an expensive dress. I said, well, how do you get a baby? She said, you get drunk. I said, well, what about sex? She said, nice Jewish girls don't do that. So I became an atheist. With a mother like that, who needs God, right? Yeah. But you know, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, right? And I've lost a great deal. So I've taken up horseback riding. I never dreamed I could get my legs that far apart. But I did. It took 45 minutes to get me up on the horse and 5 minutes to get off. We still can. Yeah, and I'm also preparing for my future, so I've taken up lap dancing. None of those guys in the home can stand up. And I've taken up skateboarding to get around town. The reason I've taken up skateboarding is because my license comes due in October, and I don't like to go to the DMV because no one there understands me. I only speak English. Actually, my driving habits have changed a lot since 1949. Would you believe it? 1949, when I learned to drive. We didn't learn to drive in school like all of you do. We learned to drive at the Automobile Club. And we learned to drive on Willys Jeeps. Do you remember Willys Jeeps? They were used in World War II in the trenches for the armed forces. And they had high windows and low seats so you could do hand jobs and nobody could see in. Anything for our troops. And they had no shocks, so I felt like I was learning to drive a pogo stick. My instructor came out and he was on crutches and he had one arm in a sling and he had 2 black eyes and no teeth. And he said, I hope you're more coordinated than the last one. Well, I wasn't. And I can honestly say that I am responsible for 51% of the paraplegics in Toledo, Ohio, and I also instituted the first drive-thru at a McDonald's. I got one with everything, including the front window and the cook. But now I drive just like everybody my age. As soon as I get in the car, I put on the turn signal. You never know when you're going to have to make a left turn. And I just got the light, which of course when I drive I pay no attention to. So I want to thank you very much. You've been a magnificent audience.